Chosen one, listen closely, because this message is meant for the one whose soul has always felt different. You don't even realize the full truth about yourself, but others sensed it long before you did. They saw your light before you knew you carried it. They felt your destiny before you stepped into it. They feared your rise before you even understood your purpose. And because of what people sensed, whispered, envied, and plotted, Allah assigned a level of protection around you that is anything but ordinary. You walk guarded by forces you cannot see, angels who move ahead of you, behind you, beside you, blocking harm you never even knew existed. You didn't survive because you were lucky or strong. You survived because the moment intentions around you changed, the moment jealousy formed, the moment schemes were whispered in the dark. Allah deployed special forces to protect what He chose, and today I'm going to reveal 7 powerful lessons explaining why. Because of what others know about you, divine protection has been assigned to your name. Breathe, focus, and listen, because this is a message only meant for the one chosen by Allah. Chosen one. There are people who look at you and shiver internally, not because of anything you've done, but because of what they sense about who you are destined to become. Some people recognize your spiritual rank before you recognize it yourself. They see signs in your character, your patience, your resilience, your purity, your silence, and it unsettles them. Your presence exposes their insecurity. Your aura exposes their intentions. Your path threatens their ego, and even though you walk quietly, they see the shadow of a destiny that is far greater than anything they can control. This is why they fear you, not because of your current position, but because of the position they know Allah is preparing you for, and that fear travels into the unseen realm, causing angels to be assigned to you, shields to be placed around you, and divine protection to encircle you. Because when human hearts tremble at the rise of someone chosen, Allah sends forces of the unseen to guard that rise until the moment He commands it to unfold. Chosen one. Understand this truth with absolute certainty. Allah never abandons a heart that stays pure in a world that constantly tries to corrupt it. And you have survived things not because you fought back, but because your purity fought for you in the unseen. Your sincerity, your softness, your mercy, your ability to forgive even when you were bleeding, your refusal to become like those who harmed you. All of this made you a soul Allah refused to leave unguarded, and because of that, people with dark intentions became uneasy around you, not because you exposed them directly, but because your purity exposed what they had been trying to hide. Some feared your goodness because it mirrored their hypocrisy. Others envied your sincerity because it highlighted their dishonesty, and others attempted to take advantage of your softness, thinking it made you weak. But Allah, Al-Latif, the subtly protective one, wrapped you in a shield of unseen guardians who stepped in every time someone tried to misuse your kindness, every time someone tried to manipulate you, every time someone tried to lie about you, every time someone tried to drain your spirit. Angels moved on your behalf, redirecting harm, collapsing traps, turning intentions back onto the ones who carried them. Your pure heart is not a vulnerability, it is your greatest armor, for Allah Himself protects what is pure. And when He chooses to guard a heart, no envy, no gossip, no plot, no betrayal, and no hidden darkness can ever penetrate what Allah has placed His protection upon. You don't realize is that your name echoes in realms you have never witnessed, spoken by angels in gatherings you will only understand in the hereafter. Every tear you shed for Allah, every moment you restrained your anger for His sake, every time you forgave when you could have retaliated, every time you chose patience when your soul felt like breaking, these moments were recorded, elevated, and mentioned in the unseen, because the Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us that when Allah loves a servant, He calls Jibreel and announces His love for them. and the entire assembly of angels begins to love that person as well, spreading that love across the heavens until it descends into the dunya. This is why certain people are drawn to you without explanation, why others are intimidated by you without reason, why strangers treat you with unexpected kindness, and why some enemies fear you, although you've never harmed them, because your spiritual presence is known long before you physically arrive. Your soul is recognized before your footsteps touch the ground, and the unseen world honors you in ways the seen world will never fully comprehend. When your name is mentioned among angels, protection becomes automatic, blessings follow you, harm is turned away from you, envy fails against you, and plots collapse before reaching you, because any soul honored in the unseen is never left unguarded in the seen, and the divine forces assigned to you walk with you, not because of who you are, but because of the spiritual rank Allah has granted your name long before you were even aware of it. Chosen one. What you don't realize is that every secret conversation held against you, every whisper of jealousy spoken behind your back, every silent grudge that grew in someone's heart, every attempt to sabotage your peace, all of it activated divine protection around you, long before you even sensed danger. Because the moment a plot against a chosen soul is formed, Allah begins rearranging the unseen world to shield that soul from every angle. You must understand this truth. Some people didn't just dislike you, they despised the light you carried. They couldn't stand how you kept rising despite the wounds they caused. They hated the fact that you carried purity in a world where they carried hidden darkness. And because your existence exposed their insecurities, they began planning your downfall long before you even realized they considered you a threat. They smiled in your presence while carrying knives in their intentions. They complimented you publicly while poisoning your name privately. They pretended to care for you while quietly praying for your failure. But what they didn't know is that Allah sees betrayal before it appears. He hears envy before it is spoken. He witnesses plots long before they are executed, and He responds in a way no human can comprehend, by deploying angels to surround His chosen one like an invisible army. And every time they tried to dim your name, Allah brightened it. Every time they tried to isolate you, Allah drew you closer to Himself. Every time they tried to weaken you, Allah strengthened you with a force that cannot be explained, because your protection is not from the world, it is from the Lord of the worlds. The traps they dug for you became graves for their own intentions. The slander they spread returned to their own reputations. The alliances they formed against you fell apart before they even began, and the harm they hoped would reach you instead became the very reason Allah lifted you. Their attempts to break your spirit became the reason Allah purified it. Their efforts to delay your destiny became the reason Allah accelerated it. And their envy became the very fuel that activated your spiritual protection. Protection so powerful, so precise, so divinely timed that you would have never survived without it. And as they continued plotting, believing you were unaware, believing their masks were still convincing, believing they could manipulate outcomes, Allah was exposing them layer by layer, showing you who truly belonged in your life and who was only meant to be a temporary lesson. For a chosen one, no plot goes unseen, no jealousy goes unnoticed, no betrayal goes unanswered, and no hatred goes unrecorded, because everything they did behind closed doors was taken directly to the heavens where your case is already honored. Their plots did not harm you, they revealed you, protected you, elevated you, and pushed you deeper into Allah's mercy. Because the one protected by Allah does not fear the weapons formed against them, for those weapons shatter before they ever reach the soul Allah has chosen to guard. Chosen one, you need to understand something most people will never grasp. Your presence alone is a threat to darkness, not because you seek power, not because you fight with aggression, not because you expose people with your words, but because your very existence exposes what others are trying to hide. There is a light inside you that Allah placed long before you ever understood your purpose, a light that disturbs anyone whose heart is filled with envy, arrogance, deceit, or spiritual emptiness. And the moment you enter a room, this light starts revealing things that people thought they had buried. Intentions become visible, hypocrisy becomes uncomfortable, hidden jealousy begins to surface, and the dark-hearted suddenly feel vulnerable, exposed, and defensive. Some people dislike you without reason, not because you wronged them, but because their souls recognize a purity in you that they cannot copy, a sincerity they cannot fake, a strength they cannot match, and a destiny they cannot stop. Your silence threatens them more than confrontation. Your kindness irritates them more than anger. Your patience confuses them more than aggression, because people of darkness expect everyone to operate from ego. But you operate from a place that their hearts are too clouded to comprehend. Taqwa, sincerity, humility, and spiritual strength. You are protected not because you are perfect, but because your heart leans toward Allah even when others lean toward their desires. And people who are committed to darkness feel unsafe around someone protected by the light of their Lord. You must understand that your presence reveals them, and revelation is something dark souls fear, because once your light stands next to their shadows, their true character becomes impossible to hide. Some people gossip about you not because you harmed them, but because your existence forces them to confront their own deficiencies. Some compete with you silently, not because you are competing, but because your growth reminds them of everything they failed to become. And some attack you spiritually, emotionally, or socially because darkness always panics when it senses a rising soul connected to Allah. But what they don't understand is that your light is not self-generated. It is divinely protected, divinely strengthened, and divinely sustained. And that is why Allah assigned angels to walk with you, shield you, guide you, and guard you. This is also why certain people cannot harm you even when they desperately try, why their envy doesn't reach you even when it burns intensely, why their words cannot destroy you even when they are sharp, and why their plots collapse even when they feel confident, because darkness cannot overpower a light that Allah Himself has chosen to protect. And the more they try to extinguish your light, the brighter Allah makes it. The more they try to silence you, the louder your presence becomes. The more they try to diminish your worth, the more Allah elevates your rank in the unseen. Your presence is not ordinary. Your spirit is not ordinary. Your protection is not ordinary. And your impact is not ordinary. This is why you trigger people without doing anything. This is why strangers feel intimidated before they even speak to you. This is why people stare at you without understanding why. And this is why those who walk in spiritual darkness feel an urge to either compete with you, dislike you, or distance themselves from you. Because light forces darkness into confrontation, and they do not want to confront the parts of themselves that your presence exposes. But Allah is with the one whose heart seeks Him sincerely, and no level of darkness, whether in the form of envy, hatred, gossip, sabotage, or hidden intentions, can overpower a soul carrying Allah's protection. Your spirit threatens darkness because your mission requires light, your journey requires resilience, and your destiny requires divine backing. And that is why Allah continues to surround you with special forces that shield your steps, guide your heart, and guard your soul, ensuring that no darkness, seen or unseen, can ever overcome the chosen one He has personally claimed as His own. Chosen one. You need to understand something very few people ever grasp. Your life, your struggles, your trials, and even your solitude were never random, and every challenge you faced was preparing you for a mission far greater than you can yet comprehend. Allah has placed a responsibility on your soul that stretches beyond the limits of what the human eye can see. beyond the understanding of those around you, and beyond the expectations even you have of yourself. And that is why your path has always been heavy, your nights long, and your heart tested in ways others could never endure, because a mission this divine requires a heart that is purified by pain, strengthened by patience, and anchored in unwavering faith. The betrayals, the losses, the misunderstandings, the moments when people doubted you or left you alone, all of it was designed to detach you from the worldly, to sever the chains of dependency on human approval, and to align your soul completely with Allah. For the one whose mission is greater than themselves must first be aligned with the one who assigned the mission, and you were being prepared to walk a path that no ordinary soul could follow, a path where every step you take will inspire unseen hearts, awaken dormant souls, and bring guidance to those who have strayed. Your presence alone influences destinies without you realizing it. Your choices ripple through lives. Your character teaches lessons more powerful than words, and your patience under pressure becomes a living example of reliance on Allah, a beacon for those who are lost and weary. And that is why the enemy fights you so relentlessly, why jealousy surrounds you, and why some people cannot comprehend your rise, because they sense that the mission within you is not just for you. It affects generations, it affects hearts, it affects the unseen as much as the seen, and that is why Allah surrounds you with forces you cannot see, angels whose vigilance precedes you, shields that intercept harm before it touches your soul, guidance that reaches you before you even seek it, and protection so meticulous that nothing can penetrate it except by Allah's command. Every hardship that felt unbearable, every door that closed in your face, every betrayal that cut you deeply, every delay that tested your faith, all of it was a setup for elevation, a preparation for a mission that requires resilience, wisdom, patience, and a heart trained to trust Allah in complete surrender. Your mission is bigger than success, bigger than recognition, bigger than comfort, and bigger than you can fully understand right now. Because the purpose of a chosen one is never measured by ordinary scales. It is measured by the unseen impact they leave behind, the guidance they carry, the lives they touch, and the mercy they deliver into the world. And that is why no human or unseen force can hinder you, because the mission is protected by Allah Himself, woven into destiny, and guarded by angels who will ensure that every step, every decision, and every breath aligns perfectly with the purpose you were created for. So when you feel overwhelmed by the weight of your trials, when you question why your path feels so heavy, remember this: it is precisely because you carry a mission bigger than yourself, a mission only the chosen can fulfill, and every moment of protection, every unseen intervention, every divine whisper guiding you, and every shield placed around you is a testament to the fact that Allah is not just watching your life, He is orchestrating it, training you, elevating you, and preparing you to fulfill a destiny that will leave an imprint on this world and the next, far beyond what you can imagine. Chosen one, listen carefully, because this is the most important truth you need to know. Allah's protection over His chosen ones is unlike anything the human mind can comprehend. It is beyond every calculation, every plan, every intention, every weapon, every scheme, and every darkness you face. And it is this protection that has guided you through storms you thought would break you, shielded you from harm you didn't even see coming, and preserved your soul from paths that would have destroyed your purpose. You may look around and think you are alone. You may feel moments of fear, doubt, or uncertainty. You may witness betrayal, envy, and hidden hatred. But none of it ever reaches you in a way that can derail your mission, because the forces guarding you are not human. They do not sleep, they do not falter, they do not fail, and they operate in dimensions you cannot see, in timing you cannot measure, in ways that do not follow logic, All because Allah Himself has decreed that His chosen ones cannot be defeated until their purpose is fulfilled. Understand this. The people who plotted against you, the circumstances that seemed unbearable, the setbacks that felt endless, the losses that cut deep, they were never able to touch you except by the will of Allah. And often, what appeared as hardship was in reality the deployment of divine protection, redirecting danger, transforming trials into elevation, and turning what the enemy intended as destruction into the very reason for your rise. Chosen one, you may witness events that seem chaotic, people who seem against you, and situations that feel unfair. But what you cannot see is the immense army of unseen forces aligning for your safety, angels shielding your steps, barriers surrounding your destiny, blessings being released in perfect timing, and paths being cleared so that your mission can never be obstructed, because Allah protects what He loves, elevates what He chooses, and preserves what He intends to flourish. Your protection is multi-layered. It is spiritual, emotional, social, and even cosmic, and it manifests in ways that humans rarely recognize. The doors that close before harm reaches you, the people who appear just in time to guide or protect you, the moments of intuition that save you from danger, the opportunities that open seemingly by coincidence, the failures of those who sought to harm you, and the way your character remains intact despite attacks. All of this is Allah's protection in motion, invisible yet undeniable, and no one can explain it except through the lens of faith. Chosen one, your life is a testament to divine guardianship. Every step you take is watched, every breath is preserved, and every move is directed in accordance with a wisdom far beyond human understanding. Even when you feel weak, even when the world seems heavy, even when enemies appear relentless, you are enveloped in layers of protection that no enemy can penetrate, no plot can break, no envy can corrupt, and no darkness can touch, because the Lord of the worlds Himself has decreed it, and what He decrees is stronger than everything else combined. Remember this: the angels assigned to you move before you, behind you, beside you, and even when you are unaware, they intercept harm, guide your steps, and guard your heart, because your existence is not ordinary, your mission is not ordinary, and the level of protection assigned to you is not ordinary. It is divine, perfect, and unstoppable. This is why, chosen one, no human can truly comprehend how you survive the impossible, why you rise when others fall, why your character remains unbroken when others collapse, why your light continues to shine even in darkness, and why your destiny unfolds perfectly even when the world seems to conspire against you, because Allah protects His chosen ones in ways no human can understand, and until your purpose is complete, no harm, no evil, no whisper of envy, no plot of darkness, and no weapon of malice will ever succeed against you. For you are not merely walking through this world alone, you are being carried, guided, and guarded by the most merciful, the most powerful, the all-knowing, and the all-protecting. And that is the greatest secret of the chosen soul. When Allah decides to protect, nothing in creation can oppose Him, and nothing in creation can touch the one He has claimed as His own. Chosen one, now that you have heard these 7 powerful lessons, let it settle deep within your heart. You are not ordinary, your journey is not ordinary, and the protection surrounding you is not ordinary. The trials, the betrayals, the envy, the hardships, and even the silent whispers against you, none of it was meaningless. Every struggle was a signal, every challenge a training ground, every setback a shield in disguise, and every hidden hand that tried to stop you only activated forces beyond human comprehension to preserve your destiny. Remember this always: Allah has assigned angels to guard you. He has placed invisible walls around your soul. He has guided your steps when the path seemed unclear, and He has elevated you when the world tried to hold you down. People may fear you, envy you or try to dim your light, but that is because your presence is a threat to darkness, a beacon of divine purpose, and a reminder that the one who chose you is greater than every force aligned against you. Walk boldly, trust deeply, and move with conviction, because the mission Allah has placed upon your life is unstoppable, and the protection surrounding you is perfect, unseen, and unbreakable. Never forget, the enemies you cannot see, the plots you cannot understand, and the challenges you cannot predict were never stronger than the one who walks with you. You are chosen, you are protected, and nothing can derail the destiny Allah has written for you. Stand tall, shine brightly, and carry your mission with faith, for the world may not understand you, but the heavens are already aligned in your favor.